Hello Aquarius, welcome to your weekly reading for June 11th to the 18th. This is for Aquarius, Sun and Rising, and if you're new to my channel, I do a traditional Celtic cross spread. I also use astrology and my guides to help bring a lot more clarity. To get more specific with your reading, Aquarius, I do this because I love you. I want you to feel like it's a personal reading, as if we're here one-on-one, rather than a general spread. Lastly, I use astrology because it brings a lot more depth to your readings. Now, Aquarius, this is a huge week. You had a huge week last week. This week is it's a big week. This is the biggest week of June, by the way. Okay, so we're kicking it off June 11th. Mercury trining Pluto. Some of y'all are definitely signing contracts. That is a guarantee. Some of y'all have moved into new jobs. Maybe you got promoted. Maybe you started a side hustle. There's a lot of different things. Mercury trining Pluto is really great if you are not signing a contract. Just a really good time to communicate the things that you need. You will be very persuasive right now. All right. Remember, the sun is in Gemini. Okay. Your BFF, fellow air sign. This is a really, really good time. What's really interesting, the same day Mercury is moving into Gemini. And so, you know how Mercury was retrograde for what felt like forever last month? Well, it went into shadow, which is, it's just another, I call it like brain fog because it's out of retrograde, but it's still kind of like it's in that transition period before it goes, fully direct, which happens on June 11th. But the kicker is Mercury is Gemini's ruling planet. So it's at home. It's in its domicile. The clarity that you have moving forward will be bonkers. It will be, honestly, in terms of being communicative, being social. Remember, I told you in my monthly, I want you to be very social right now because all this activity in your fifth house is the house of pleasure. It's a house of love, romance. It's a house of creativity, self-expression. It's all about having fun. Now, the reason why this is such a big deal for you, specifically Aquarius, is because we know Venus and Mars, they're in Leo right now. Leo is the native ruler of the fifth house of pleasure and fun and love and romance and procreation. And a lot of y'all will be thinking about having kids, maybe having babies. It's because Mars and Venus in Leo is in your seventh house of partnerships. So this is a majorly big deal. Seventh house of partnerships, marriage, and if you're not here for love, if you're not here for romance, this is also work related, okay? That's why I say some of y'all are possibly signing new contracts, getting new jobs, getting promoted, or starting side hustles, or, maybe bringing on a new client if you are an entrepreneur, partnering up with someone else, another company. There's a lot happening for y'all. Now, this same day, June 11th, this is big. It's a big day. The same day, Pluto is going retrograde. Pluto is going back into Capricorn. And so what I want you to do, Aquarius, I want you to think about what happened for you between March of this year and until now, because it's giving you a preview of what's to come when Pluto goes back into your sign starting January 2024 for 20 years. That's right, till 2044. And so this is all about identity, having a lot of power. There's going to be a lot of transformation happening in your life. There has been life-changing moments happening for y'all. It's been really crazy. It's been, again, bonkers. I'm going to go with that word. And now the big thing for this week, the huge thing for this week, Aquarius, is the new moon in Gemini that's happening on the 17th. Okay, this is a time to plant seeds. This is a time to manifest. This is a time to listen. Remember what I said? Sun in Gemini, Mercury in Gemini. Now we have the moon in Gemini. When I said this is a big new moon, it's a big new moon. Remember, it's happening in your fifth house. Pleasure, love, romance. A lot of y'all are moving into relationships, okay? It's new moons bring new beginnings. Again, fifth house is love and romance. Venus and Mars and Leo, partnerships. You do the math, all right? And if you're not here for love, this is work related too. This is, creativity, self-expression. This could be all about your identity as well, okay? So this is a big week for you. This is a very big week for you, and I am very excited for you. One other thing you need to know that's happening. The same day that the same day of the new moon in Gemini. Yes, that is when Saturn goes retrograde. All right, so Saturn is a co-ruler. It's your ancient. It's one of your co-rulers. Okay, Aquarius. So it's really interesting. Saturn went into Pisces in your second house of self-value, of self-worth. Okay, so if you put all of this together, Mars and Leo bringing you that confidence, that no holds barred, the I'm in it to win it, nothing can stop me now energy. I absolutely love that for you. Saturn in Pisces is also money. You're taking money a lot more seriously. You're taking your work a lot more seriously. You're taking your finances a lot more seriously. Saturn is when it steps back a little bit, it's really interesting because it's almost like a boulder off your shoulders, what I like to say. But at the same time, things could start moving a little slow in that area, but it's a good thing because it gives you time to process things. It gives you time to think about your future, think about, long-term commitments, long-term goals, all of that. So, Mars and Venus and Mercury really leading the brigade this week. It is a week. It's a huge week. Let's go ahead and get started, Aquarius. Let's see what's going on for you. Again, this is for Aquarius, Sun and Rising. And I always say, if you know your birth chart, you're welcome to read for your moon, your Venus, all those other placements. Now, this is a week where I encourage you to read for your moon. This is a big new moon in Gemini. So if you know your birth chart, read for your moon sign as well, okay? And that's it. So Aquarius, let's go ahead. Let's get started with your reading. I am very excited to see what's going on for you for June 11th to the 18th. One other thing I was going to say is that if you... I'm getting a lot of requests from people who are asking me to give the lucky dates every week and every month. So I'm going to try to get in the habit of doing that. I do leave all the key astrological dates in the description box. And I do leave a little description about what each aspect means. But here's the other thing is that this weekend is the lucky weekend. Okay, it's the if you're looking for the lucky date, it really would be this weekend with the around that new moon in Gemini, 16, 17, 18. I would just the 18th is even really good with the moon going into Cancer. The moon is at home in Cancer. It's all about family and friends. And anyway, let's go ahead and get started. You are look at you with all your pentacles, Aquarius. This is amazing. This is really, this is amazing. You did get the death card, okay? Let's get started. You got death in your past. Now, remember your last week's reading? If you didn't see it, I don't want to spoil it for you. It was a big reading. Here's your confirmation, okay? Here's your affirmation from what happened with your reading last week, okay? You are going through some shifts. You are entering this new chapter in your life. You are entering this new cycle. That's what the death card is. This is absolutely amazing, all right? You can see the sun coming out on the horizon. And that's, a lot of people think that this, it's the most misunderstood card. It's like Hollywood gave it a bad impression or reputation. They're like, hey, let's make a horror movie and throw the death card in there from the tarot, right? It's actually one of the best cards. This is, you can see the white horse, white rose, purity. You can see, you can see the dead king and, the bishop here. You can see so many, and the common people, okay? This is just saying that this moment, this transformation, okay, happens for everyone. You have to be prepared for it. The bishop, he's prepared for it. He's enlightened. He's waiting for it. You see him standing right in front of it. But you see the dead king here with the crown knocked off. It's like, you better be, these transformations that are coming, you better accept it. It's really good for you. It's really good for you. Okay. So you are moving into this new place in your life, and it's definitely confirmed here with death in your past. So now, in the heart of your spread, this is kind of like the headline news of the week. You did get the 4 of Pentacles. And again, we're going to talk about how you have a lot of pentacles here, but this is really just all about being grounded. Now, what I said earlier, Pluto going retrograde, going back into Capricorn, there you go. I mean, this is really, really just at this point being grounded and taking your finances seriously. That's what he's doing, okay? 4 is all about order. It's all about structure, building that structure. What did I say? Saturn and Pisces, thinking about your finances, thinking about your money and work, career, all of that, all right? That's going to be something that you're going to be thinking about this week. Some of y'all may be manifesting new things in terms of that. What are the jobs that are going to bring me a lot of joy? Remember, this new moon is in your 5th house of pleasure. All right. So a lot of y'all are, or if you love your job, what are ways that I can do it where I have a little bit more fun with this? But either way, this is, it is taking care of your finances and putting a lot of attention on your finances. But also remember, pentacles are earthbound. It's your physical reality. So just putting things in order, just those foundations of your life, putting it all in order, okay? And really, really thinking about your resources at this point too. Thinking about what are you, like places where you may feel like you're lacking it, or places where you have an abundance of it and what you can do with that, maybe even investments. But just think very grounded and practically about this. One thing that I am going to mention is that Neptune is squaring the new moon. And it's really, honestly, it's really very interesting, okay? Because Neptune, you know, it's let's just say it's like fantasy, all right? It's fantasy. It's that really dreamy, like your head in the clouds, but in a way where like your head is in the clouds and you see unicorns and you see like Bigfoot up there, right? You want to like bring it back down. So the things that you're trying to manifest, don't go like overboard. Don't like wish for, 5,000 castles like that. You might not get that. Okay, be realistic about the things that you're manifesting. Now, the last thing I'm going to say, because this came up in the heart of your spread, don't let your money own you, okay? You're the one in charge. You have that power. Don't let any of this. And you see that he's got the pentacle on his head. He's standing on the pentacles. When you're standing on pentacles, you're disconnected from earth, okay? Don't let your money own you this week. Now, interestingly, you got the Hierophant, but you got the Hierophant in your challenge area, okay? Hierophant is ruled by Taurus. We know Taurus. Jupiter went into Taurus. This is a big thing right now. Uranus is in Taurus. Your other co-ruler is in Taurus. So this is actually a big thing for you. That rules your 4th house of home. So you might have like a lot of attention in terms of what's going on at home, and really having that structure and foundation. Really take that seriously moving forward, because the Hierophant, all about structure, all about, it's really, honestly, it's really interesting because Aquarians are known to be like, y'all have that rebellious flair or whatnot. He's all about traditions. So it's almost like a little bit, it might be like, like with you're so independent. He's all about like organizations, like systems and whatnot. So it's almost like this week there may be like a little bit of tug of war, like, oh, I really don't want to even think about my finances, or gosh, I don't want to be on top of this, or it may be important for you to do this week. Okay, keep that in mind, because you're setting yourself up again. Remember, and Saturn and Pisces in your 2nd house, that's 2.5 years. Okay, so you're really, really going to be going through this, and so really keep that in mind. That's honestly the big thing here, is that it's that structure and stability that's going to be the big focus for you this week. If not finances and money and salary and career, it is just your physical reality, putting things in order. That's what's happening. Second thing that's coming up, there is somebody in your life, Aquarius. There's someone that is possibly, and you may have that moment of clarity this week, there's possibly someone this week that may not be a really like a good influence Okay, someone that maybe you may have to cut from your life. It's someone who, you know, thinking about the full moon in Sagittarius that happened. I don't know if you saw that reading. Well, I hope you did, but it was about having clarity about something in your social network, and you may have to have let go of a friend. There could be a friend that you may have to. It's just not. And it's not like a bad thing. It's just like you may just have like this moment where this person is just it's not really, we're growing apart, and I think it's best that we just continue to do that. I still love them, but there is someone that you probably shouldn't be getting advice from, and you may know that someone who you may know that it's time to right to say goodbye to yesterday. Okay, if that could be their name too. Hey, you got the King of Pentacles. There you go, in your crown. So when I talk about that energy, about all this money and wealth and just structure in your finances and just what your foundation's life, there you go. You got the King of Pentacles, okay? This is someone who is, you're thinking about it. And I want you to think about it. And I want you to make sure that this is something that you do think about, because, look, the King of Pentacles, speaking of Taurus, he's Taurus, okay? And so, again, a lot of it is related to home, your domestic sector, foundations of your life, your even relationships, family, all of that. The King of Pentacles is a protector. He's a provider. All right. And so and he has the resources to do that. So it looks like you will be thinking about all of this week with the King of Pentacles coming up in your crown. Now, he is the richest king. This is, you just want to be in a place where you don't have to worry about money anymore. You don't have to worry about not having the resources to take care of, yourself, your children, your family, your friend, just that's who you want to be moving forward. All right. You also see he has that golden scepter. Only 1 or 2 people in all of tarot that have that golden scepter. It's that golden scepter that creates this abundance. Okay, creates all this abundance. And so find those ways this week. Okay, especially with this new moon. All right, especially with Mars and Venus and Leo in your 7th house. Find that way to create this abundance and to have the stability with it moving forward. The last thing that, and I think I pointed out that he's Taurus. You can even see the bulls in his throne here. But the last thing I'm going to point out, remember what I said about not letting your money own you? I think you know that, okay? You see his hand on top of the pentacle. He's owning his money. He's owning his money. He's owning his wealth. He's owning his abundance, okay? You're great. Now, you got the 3 of Cups. I love this. There is quite possibly something that a lot of y'all are going to be celebrating this week. Again, remember, with the Death card in your past, there is this newness, something new that's happening in your life, okay? And especially around this new moon. So think about more toward the weekend, but you could be celebrating. I mean, this is a card of joy. It's a card of celebration, and it's newness too. 3 is all about birth. It's all about the birth of, creation. A lot of creative energy is still, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, it's still it's really strong for y'all this week, okay? And it completely makes sense, especially with the new moon, with the sun, with Mercury, all of that in Gemini, which is your 5th house of creativity, okay? And then with Venus and Mars in Leo, which is the native ruler of the 5th house, a lot of, creativity in those areas when it comes to the partnership energy too. I think last week that was coming up for me too. A lot of creative energy around y'all. Just, ooh. And then remember, Mercury in Gemini and its domicile, that's really, it's like pedal to the metal, right? In terms of communication, thinking, like being creative, especially if you're an artist, Aquarius. If you're an artist of any form, you're going to be on, like, things are going to be crazy good for y'all, okay? Artists, like, whether you're a painter, writer, interior designer, whatever it is where you get to flex your creative muscles. Wow, And then there you go, the Three of Cups. This is like, it looks like some of y'all are wanting this new thing to happen. Some of y'all will be celebrating something this week, especially with, I told y'all to be social this week. And hey, you see the three sisters here. They're toasting each other. A lot of celebration energy. I really love that. I feel like you got it in your last reading too. But this is really great. Came up in the root of your spread. So a lot of y'all are going to be wanting to do that this week. And a lot of y'all will be doing that this week. Just remember, have fun. I want you to have fun. Now, look at your future. You're good, Aquarius. You're good. You put your finances, your foundations of life, all that in order. You're good. You see, you got the pair. I don't make this up. Aquarius. You got the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. The difference between the King and the Queen. The Queen, their energies, their powers are more internal. This is more external, right? That, remember, I said he's the protector. He's the provider. But he's also, it's like that exterior, like that confidence. Now, the Queen of Pentacles, this is amazing because it came up in your future. So a lot of y'all are coming into this place of, the world that you want. You're going to be living in it, just like the Queen of Pentacles, who has the resources to, just like the King, take care of everybody in her kingdom, in her empire, in her family. And she is, her maternal side comes out big time. She's very maternal when it comes to resources. So again, like if you, for instance, like if you have a friend who's like, oh man, I'm $200 short on rent this month. Like, you would be the one that says, oh, yeah, I got you. Don't worry, I got you. That's the Queen of Pentacles. She takes care of everybody, okay? She has the resources to do it and also take care of herself. But it looks like there is going to be money coming through big time, especially with the Queen of Pentacles, all right? You see all that abundance. And, hey, you see, there you go, little bunny rabbit there, all right? Representing growth, fertility, all of that. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. This is really great, especially because Pluto did go back into Capricorn, and I'm just noticing that here. That's really amazing. She's Capricorn. You see that you got Capricorn, Taurus, Scorpio, and Cancer. But anyway, you see what's happening here. A lot of it's just like wealth and money. But remember, if Pentacles, your physical reality, building that world that you want, you're moving into that wealth and abundance in your future. Don't forget, you got the pair here, the King and the Queen of Pentacles, money and wealth. But your physical reality too. All right. So Aquarius, let's get to your stuff. I'm very curious. Aquarius, if you like this reading, it would be so great if you subscribe, leave comments. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for being here. You're really amazing. Gosh, y'all are amazing. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So I really do appreciate it. And I am very grateful. So let's get to, wow. There's some of y'all are going to be, this is a week where if you do sign a contract, do not do it on the 15th. Okay? Remember, I leave all the key astrological dates. When Mercury trines Pluto, that's great time. That's Sunday, even Monday, but not Wednesday, not the 15th. Is that the 15th? I forget. Whatever the 15th is, don't sign a contract that day because Mercury is squaring Saturn. Okay, so you don't want to sign a contract that day. But let's get started. You got the Three of Swords. So I feel like this is the first time you've gotten this in a long time. But it's saying that this week there is something where you feel like there is... looking at your entire spread here, there could be a sense of it's really not even, it's more like there's some, it's like you're moving into such a big, I mean, like the change that's happening in your life is so big, okay? There's and it has been happening, and it's going to continue to happen, and it's over like especially, hey, when Venus goes retrograde, by the way, y'all, I'm just gonna let you know now, there's an ex that could come back into your life. That's not gonna happen until July, but I'm just gonna give you a heads up now. I'll talk more about that, what Venus retrograde means. Venus is retrograding in Leo in your seventh house of partnerships. So it's not even an ex, it could be something like, even like someone that you worked for in the past. But anyway, what I'm getting from this is that there is a sense of leaving something behind. And it has something to do with the world that, like, within your orbit. Has a lot to do with this change that you're going through, okay? And you're going through big changes. You have been going through big changes with Pluto in your sign. It's been, like, some of it could have been a little overwhelming. Now, this, I'm not even getting a huge thing. It's more like, what did I say earlier? Saying goodbye to yesterday? Like, saying goodbye to yesterday. It's like, and we'll even clarify it. Yeah, it's definitely, you're okay. So some of y'all are moving into a new place in your life, and some of y'all may be letting go of things that may be hard for you to let go. Okay, it may be hard for you to let go, but this is the week that you will be doing it, because you are going to be thinking more seriously about what you want in your life, the structure that you're building for yourself, all of that. And with that said, with the death card coming in your past, clearly indicating you're moving into this new era, and you're taking your not only your finances seriously, your world a lot more like your home situation a lot more seriously, and you'll have a lot of luck in that area too. But you're also just letting it's almost like spring cleaning, right? It's just like throwing away those things that you don't need anymore, but they still meant something for you. Okay, so some of y'all, I'm not gonna lie, it could be the fact that you're leaving a job, and it's a job where you love the people that you worked with, and it's hard to say goodbye to them. Okay, because look, you got the Three of Swords, but it's clarified with the Ten of Wands. And so this card is a lot of burden. It's a lot of burnout energy. It's like taking on a lot. It's taking on a lot. But the energy that's coming mostly up for me, for you, is that it's almost like distraction energy. You've been distracting yourself a little bit from this thing that you have to let go. Okay, if it doesn't resonate with you with career, or a passion project, or whatnot, it could be something with relationships. Okay, and it could be something with a friend, or it could be something with just something. Ask yourself what resonates with you. What is something that that you have to let go, and it's going to be really hard for you. And again, it's just, some of it is just like some of those like life circumstances. Again, like that job thing is like a good analogy, or even like maybe even it could be even like if you've been working on this project for a really, really, really long time, let's say like 5 years, and then you realize that your heart's not in it anymore, but then you're just at the same time like, oh gosh, I'm now dating this person. I just moved into this new place. I just got this new job. I don't have time for it anymore. It's heartbreaking, because I just don't think that because I might have to let it go now. I might have to let it go. And it did bring me some joy. Does that make sense? Okay, so keep that in mind for this week moving forward. But you did get the Page of Swords in your external factors area. And so the Page of Swords coming up with the Queen of Pentacles, kind of a big thing. I'm not going to lie. Pages bring in that new energy. Pages are really young. This page in particular, very enthusiastic. Now, this is very interesting, because look at what's happening here. You started with the Death card. If you go down the cross this way, we're ending with the Page of Swords. Pages are all about change. Remember, they bring in that new energy. Swords, they are the mental suit, but they're also change. So there's a lot of change happening in your life, okay? And again, it's really hard. It's really hard to say, with all those changes, it's hard to it can be a little have an emotional impact on you, because there's a lot of, when you go through these big changes, or some things that you leave behind, sometimes like it just happens organically or naturally, and then sometimes it's like, you have to let it go. All right, but it's all about building that structure and foundation, so you are living in this world that you choose to live in, that you're building for yourself. All right, now the Page of Swords. This is saying that you are likely going to get a message come through too, because remember, the swords are the mental suit. So it's all about communication as well. It's even like some of y'all could have these moments of clarity of things that you do have to change or whatnot, but this is just a big week of change. Okay, it's a really big week of change, echoing last week's reading as well. The Page of Swords, especially in your external factors area, there is definitely going to be a message. It could be something like a download that you get spiritually, but I'm getting more in your external. I'm getting more like it's going to be an email, it's going to be a text, it's going to be a conversation that you have with your boss, with your partner, with a family member. There is going to be some element of change that you're going to hear this week for sure. Okay, especially with Mercury in Gemini. All right, the planet of communication in its domicile. Now, you did get Judgment, okay? This is very interesting. It's saying that, some of y'all are ready for it. You're ready for it. It's the Judgment card is all about having that spiritual awakening. It's hearing the blow of the trumpet. You see Archangel Gabriel blowing the trumpet. You see the dead arising. The dead in gray, dead in tarot is the dead are gray, okay, and then gray in tarot, is wisdom. All right, but the blow of the trumpet is so significant. It's arising the dead. The dead are arising, and now they're alive, and now it's like they're looking for this meaningful life experience. And this is coming up in your stuff. It's saying that that's what you're looking for. That's what you're hoping for. It's like you're getting like really serious about your life, what you want in your life. And a lot of it has to do with like resources and your foundations and whatnot, and finances too, but you're just getting really serious about it. And this is great. And there's a lot of change happening with the Judgment card. This is really great because this is the only card that has a huge connotation of sound. And what is sound? Sound is healing. So this is like almost like a healing moment for you as you move forward this week, okay? And you're looking for that. Secondly, sound is vibration. I talk about it all the time. We're all made of energy. We all vibrate at a certain frequency down to the molecular level. This is raising the frequency. When you hear the blow of the trumpet, it raises your frequency. It woke up the dead. When you have that spiritual moment and, ask yourself, what does that even mean for you? What does spirituality mean for you, right? Your belief system? Is it your, the way that you see things? Is it, it means something for everyone else. Intuition. But it's really just having that aha moment, like that, I feel so good to be alive. It's like being aware. It's that enlightenment, okay? It's really great. You got the Five of Cups and your final outcome. And so there is something it's going to be hard for you to say goodbye to something. You're going through this massive change. That's going to be hard. You see that he's looking back at the spilled cups. He can't even see the two full cups behind him. Okay? So there is going to be a sense of you. And, when I say looking back, it's really hard for him to look away from those spilled cups. All he has to do is look up, cross the bridge over the river, and go home, and then sit, on his couch and do the things that he loves and be with his family and everything like that. But there is going to be, this is in your final outcome. So it is definitely indicating there is something that's going to happen this week where there's going to be something that makes you a little bit sad. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be sad, but it's not going to be, again, I'm not getting the feeling that it's just more like, with change. And let me remind you, change is the only constant in this world, right? That's who is this? Heraclitus, a Greek philosopher. And so this is just saying there is going to be change. There's going to be a big shift this week, and there may be something that is kind of like eclipsed out, or something that you have to say goodbye to. Again, hey, Have you lived in the same apartment for 10 years and then you met someone 2 years ago and now you're getting engaged and moving in with that person? It's hard to say goodbye to that apartment where you have so many memories and it was, you loved your neighbor. And do you know what I mean? It's like that. This like big change, significant change, that moment that's happening in your life where it's hard to say bye to this old part of you, this old like shedding this part of you that it's you have to, all right. But it's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. But that is going to be what this week is going to be like for you. There is likely going to be something that is you're definitely going through taking everything about life a lot more seriously in terms of what's going to bring me happiness, what's going to make me feel financially, stable, what's going to bring in that wealth and abundance for me, what do I have to focus on to make that happen, and some of it is going to be like as you move forward with this new moon in Gemini, which is all about new beginnings. There's change happening. There's this new beginning happening for you. And then, it's leaving something behind. All right. And hey, sure, we'll clarify that too. There you go. Aquarius, someone told me today that I looked like I was in a Korean boy band. I don't know if, do you see that? Anyway, look, when I say you're good, you're good. When I say, yeah, there may be a moment where something could be sad this week, but it's saying bye to something for this new part. Now I want you to ask yourself this week, that change, it could happen in your physical world, it could happen emotionally, it can happen like mentally, it can happen spiritually, okay? And so it's going to resonate differently for all Aquarians in a different way. But in any case, there is going to be change, and it may be hard for you, but it's going to be worth it. You got the Ace of Swords. Not only is this one of the most powerful swords, this is the biggest card out of the aces of change, because aces usher in the most new change out of all the minor arcanas, okay? The most new change, new beginnings, new paths, swords. Again, remember, the mental suit. So this is change that's coming into your life. This is also in terms of, remember, I said communication is a big thing. You'll be getting a message coming through soon. Swords are the mental suit, but it's communication. It's even like your ideas. It's contracts. I talked about contracts, but this is victorious. You see the crown. I mean, this is victory. This is success. This is having that mental breakthrough. Like whatever this is, it's temporary. The Three of Swords and the Five of Cups, it's temporary. It's that, oh, this is really sad. Like this change is happening. And I gotta surrender this, but you're gonna make peace with it. In fact, I'm gonna point something out. You see the olive branch, right? I mean, it's coming to it's making peace with what's ever happening. But this is significant. This is a major breakthrough. This is a major breakthrough for you. So, Aquarius, oh my goodness. I feel like that was a long... Okay. I kept it under 40 minutes. Aquarius, thanks so much for tuning in again. This is a very big week for you. I'm not going to lie. This is a huge week. I mean, we're going from death to the Queen of Pentacles, Page of Wands. Remember, you got the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. You are definitely moving into that world that you want for yourself. You and it is something where a lot of wealth, money and wealth as well, is coming through for a lot of Aquarians. There could be a contract you may have to sign. Remember, you are getting a message coming through, and there could be a contract, especially with what's happening astrologically as well. But with the Three of Swords here and the Five of Cups, there is something that you're going to be saying bye-bye to, and it's going to be a little bit hard. It's going to be that, like, it's like the last episode of Friends after 10 seasons. That, like, oh my gosh, it's ending, but now I'm moving on to, Seinfeld or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's going to be a bye-bye. This is going to be hard, but You're going to be good. You got the Ace of Swords in your final outcome. You got the Ten of Wands, clarifying the Three of Swords. 10, remember the end. 10 is the end of the suit. 10, 1, 0 equals 1. Laying those wands down, all right? And it's going to be good for you, all right? Because when you are overburdened and when you are working so hard over something, or, you know, doing things to distract yourself, I mean, like, he can't see where he's going. You lay those wands down. Ace of Swords, final outcome. Queen of Pentacles in your future. You're good. Just know that there may be someone that you and that change could be with a friend. I'm not gonna lie, it could be with a friend or someone, possibly even like a mentor. Okay, possibly even a mentor that you feel it in your bones. You're like, not the right person for me to be associated with. I mean, I love that person dearly, but I don't think it's the right person. But anyway, this is a big week, okay? It's a big week. Next week is even I don't even know what to like. Next week we have that Jupiter sextile Saturn happening. That's kicking off next week. I talked about this in my June forecast. This is big. This is big. Remember, Saturn's a co-ruler of yours. Jupiter's in your 4th house. Like, we'll talk about this. Thanks so much for tuning in, Aquarius. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.